Toscha Seidel was born in Odessa on November 17, 1899. A student of Leopold Auer in St. Petersburg, Seidel emigrated to the United States in the 1930s, making his way to Hollywood, where he made a career in the studios of motion pictures. He was featured as soloist in several Hollywood productions, including the movies Intermezzo, Melody for Three, and the uncredited soloist for The Wizard of Oz. Seidel's sound was lush and expressive, and the fact that to this day we associate love scenes, sadness, and tears with the sound of the violin is largely due to Seidel. After the 1948 Supreme Court ruling United States versus Paramount, when the studio system was disbanded, contract orchestras became freelance. This required studio musicians to be very creative, entrepreneurial, and to rely on their personal relationships to secure work. And unfortunately, Toscha Seidel's Hollywood career began to decline. He died on November 15, 1962, at the age of 62.
Weissar put instruments in the window that he wanted to sell to students. So there were these bright, shiny fiddles in the window, and I was in for a cleaning, and so I was talking to Hans, while his assistant did the cleaning, and we saw Tasha Seidel come by, sort of walk past the store and come back. He was in a little hat and a beautiful houndstooth jacket, remember? And he looked in. He couldn't see very much. He didn't have good eyesight to begin with. He opened the door and he came in, reached into the exhibit, pulled out one of these fiddles, and played the opening of the Tchaikovsky. You would have thought of it as the greatest tragedy I've ever heard. This huge sound. And he played for about 5 minutes, put it back, and then as he going out the door, he looked at Weissar and says, "Not a bad fiddle." Anything would have sounded good the way he played it. It was probably a $200 violin. Just amazing, amazing hands. And there are those great recordings that we have of Seidel. You know, the orchestras were filled with immigrants and great fiddle players. Even as late as The Godfather, that I played, the first one of The Godfather. There are all these old guys with strads. I had a wonderful Andre Guarnerius, and my violin was the cheapy fiddle. There were 13 strads in that orchestra. I sat with Louis Kaufman. I think the average age must have been 75.
Wow.
And I was sat in the back. And it was 9 hours of recording.
Wow.
But great fiddle sections. You look at MGM orchestras. There was that movie with Ingrid Bergman. Tasha Seidel was the concertmaster. And as he was preparing for this big moment where there was a love scene, the producer went over to him because everybody was on the set. And he said, "Tasha, when he takes her in his arms, it's got to be thrilling. It's got to be thrilling." So they took a take and they got to the spot and Tasha played. And they stopped and cut. "What are you doing, Tasha? You want thrilling? I'll give you thrilling." But he was serious.